Hello, hello everyone. I'm so excited we got some of our new transfers today, so I am going to go ahead and do 2 projects for you tonight. They're really quick, so I'm going to show you from start to finish how to do these. I'm going to prep the wood also and show you a very easy way to do this. We're going to use Clorox wipes and we're going to just use acrylic paint. So I'm going to go ahead and put some gloves on because this can get messy. So I'm going to do that first. And then we'll get started. So the 2 transfers here that we're going to use are our Boots and Bling. It's a cowgirl thing, and Mom's Diner. So for the boot one, I am going to use white acrylic paint. We're going to put some onto one of our little plates. And then I'm going to take a Clorox wipe. Some people use baby wipes. I tried this recently when I didn't have any baby wipes, and I actually like it better because there's more moisture in the Clorox wipes. Seems to spread a little bit easier. So I'm just going to get a really thin coat. We're not going for anything thick. We want this to be a little bit see-through and rustic. So you're just spreading it around. You want to be able to see the grain of the wood through it. So you're just kind of getting it just like a little coat of the white. Okay, and then I'm gonna set that to the side, and for the diner one, we're gonna use a gray. This is just a cheaper brand. This is Michael's brand of Craft Smart. We're gonna go ahead and put it right onto the wood and then start spreading from there. So I'm just showing you can do either way. You can put it onto a plate, you can put it right directly onto your wood and quickly start spreading. And same as the other one, you wanna be able to see through. You want to see the grain. So just go ahead and rub, rub, rub. And then we're going to dry. Okay, so I have my hot air gun here. It's drying pretty quickly. Okay, and then you're going to take a sanding disc and we're just going to sand it. And I have a trash can right here. I'm just going to sand that quickly over the trash can. So I'm going to take up some of the grain that's raised. When it's painted, some of the grain will come up. And then we're going to distress it just a little bit. Alright, so I just quickly sanded it. This is just a little sanding disc that I have. You can use just regular sandpaper. And then what I'm going to do is I want a little bit of white over here on the gray one, and then I'm going to put a little bit of black on the white one. So just a little bit. We just want like a little touch of color here and there. So you don't want too much. You can actually, if you get too much, you can go back. I'm going to get a fresh Clorox wipe. You can go back and you can take some of that off if you got too much, just like that. Just want a little bit of color in there, not too much. And then on the white one, I just want just a tiny bit of black. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of black right here. And I'm gonna dip this in it, kind of pounce it around on the plate. I don't want too much. I'm just giving a little bit of accent here and there. And I think that's enough. That's all I want. Don't want a lot. I'm going to take the gloves off. I don't need those anymore. And I'm going to dry this. Okay, so that was really quick prep of this. It doesn't take much. This one's a little bit wet. We're going to do that just a little bit more. Okay, so I can feel it when it feels damp. That just means that you just need to dry it a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to put wax on these. We don't want our transfers, especially our brand new transfers, to be destroyed. This is the type of wax that I like to use. It's not all stinky like some of the other. You're going to wipe it on and then you're going to wipe it off. So you don't need a lot. We're going to wipe it on, and then we're just kind of buffing it to get it all into the grain and get back off as much as possible. So I still have some here I can use over on this one. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't. Sometimes I don't even put more on the rag. The rag sometimes just has enough from the times before. Okay, and then I actually take a paper towel and I do it again to just kind of rub it in, get off more of that wax, kind of buffing it. Get your work out. Okay, so that's how you get these looking this way. It's real easy. This one's actually going to end up going that way, and that one's going to go that way. And these are brand new transfers. So this one has a line where you cut it because this one is actually layered. So I'm going to cut it down the line. Yes, I'm a lefty. I don't cut straight. You're going to flip it over. I just put an X on the back that tells me do not stick it to this side. Same thing with this one. So when you're returning these to the transfer sheets, do not put them on the side with the X. You put them on the shiny side so that it doesn't destroy them. Okay, for these, we need to fuzz them because they're brand new. And fuzzing means that you're just going to remove this from the backer sheet. And we're going to get just a little bit of the towel fuzz onto this. And we've waxed this, so it won't be too bad. I'm just going to do that once. And then I'm going to line it up over here. Try to center it. And as soon as I have it centered, I'm going to press it down. You don't want any air bubbles in your transfer, so you're going to make sure that you get this to lay down really nice and flat. And you'll notice there's these little registration marks, and this says 1. This means you do this first. So the registration marks are so that you can line up the next layer, but I'm not going to do that. I actually know that I can line it up, so I'm not going to use that. Okay, so there's that one, and then we're going to do this one. This one will be next. Mom's Diner, open 24 hours, great eats. This is a really fun one. I think I'm going to have one in my kitchen, even though my kids are grown, but we do have everyone over, and this would just be a really fun one. Okay, so pull that off of the towel. We just fuzzed it just a little because I have waxed the surface, so we should be fine. Should be good to go. I'm gonna just get that as centered as possible. Press it down. Get all of my little bubbles out of it. Okay, with the boot, I'm going to show you how to do this with the singles because I'm going to be offering this in a kit. So I actually don't know if I'm going to need more than one of these. So I have another one waiting just in case. So I am going to squeeze all of this. I'm pretty certain I'm going to need 2. And so I'm testing this out, but we'll see. We'll see. It might be enough. And then this is the little mini squeegee that you will receive with the kit. So you are just going to apply this on here and work quickly. This also shows me how much is in each of those little packets because there actually is more than I thought. And everyone tells me that you know, you'd be surprised at how much is in there. So, okay, it's only going to need 1, which is great. That's great news. And the fact that I can put this back into my Couture teal jar that I have. I will just put this back in there when we're done. So I'm smoothing it out, working quickly because we don't want the chalk paste to dry in the transfer. Making sure that you've gotten all of the areas filled in. And then we're going to peel. Awesome. It's almost the same color as the transfer. And then I'm going to put this on in my water bath over here so that the chalk paste doesn't dry in it. I'm gonna grab this Clorox white from over here, and I'm just gonna clean this because we're gonna use the same squeegee when we do the accent on the boot and all the little words. So I wipe that off, and then I'm gonna dry it. I'm gonna let it just sit there and dry. We'll move on and we'll do the Mom's Diner. And this is something you can do if you have several projects. You can work back and forth while one's drying. This one I'm going to do in red because I really actually like the color red. And this one we're going to use our large angled squeegee. It's actually the handled squeegee. This is what it is. We're going to use this one because we have a larger area. So for a larger area, that works great. And the chalk paste, you want it to be the consistency of sour cream or yogurt. So you're just going to spoon some on there and then start spreading, making sure that your transfer doesn't come up. You just spread it into all of those little areas. And then excess goes back into the jar. And I'm just gonna hold this. It's lifting on the edge. I think that's because of my wax that I had. My wax is working very well, so it doesn't stick too much. I'm just getting this so that it's nice and smooth so that we get a great transfer underneath. Okay, I'm going to remove this. You're going to pull side to side or top to bottom, and I actually try to fold the corners under. It gives you something to grab. You're just going to pull it back. Oh my gosh, I love that. Awesome, yay. Perfect. Okay, so I just put that into my water bath over there. Wanted to make sure that it does not dry. And I can see there's just a tiny area that I don't know if it was a transfer or if maybe it didn't go down there. I'm gonna take, it might be part of the transfer. You know what? I'm just gonna fill that. It just looks like it needs to be filled. You can take a little Q-tip. While this is still wet, you can touch up if you need to. And if you had some out of the line, you can also use this and you can remove that. So I'm gonna dry this with my heat gun because it's probably not quite dry. I'm just going to dry this one too so that I don't accidentally touch it and smear it. I'm going to return this to room temperature so it doesn't damage the transfer. And then you're going to feel it. You're going to make sure. All right, so this transfer, I'm going to move this just in case it's still wet. This transfer is brand new too, of course. So we need to fuzz this. And this is the second layer, so it's possible that it could pull up some of this paint if it's not completely down. I'm going to take my rag here that has the chalk paste, and I'm just going to wipe just a little bit. Sometimes that'll help with it. If it pulls some up, I'm not gonna worry too much because rustic is fine with me. So we're gonna get this loose. Ooh, I'm wearing some of the red. No surprise there. I am the messy one. We're gonna peel the backer off, and then we're gonna fuzz this, and I'm gonna fuzz this 3 times so that it does not stick, hopefully. The way that you clean these transfers, guys, is you put it into the water bath over there. I have mine in my sink, and you're gonna swish it around and get off as much as you can. And then you're going to put it on the countertop and you're going to wipe it with a Clorox wipe. The Clorox wipe helps restore the sticky. So you're going to wipe the top side first, and then you're going to flip it over and you're going to wipe the sticky side. And then you're going to lay it down on a surface to dry so that its sticky side is up. And once it's dry, then it goes back onto the backer sheets. So you would just line it back up and put this one's for the mom's diner and go back on that. So that's how that works. All right, so we are going to use Storm for the accent on this, and it's not going to take this whole thing, so I'm going to squeeze some out and maybe I'll be able to use this for another project. Probably not even going to take that much. So let me just set this right here. And this is the small squeegee that's going to come with the kits. And you can send me a private message and I can tell you about the kits. I can't talk about pricing on here. I can talk about it in my private Facebook group, but we can't discuss those things. Just some of the rules. So you're just going to spread it and fill all of the holes that are in the silk screen. You want it to be nice and smooth. And then you want to put this back onto, if there's excess, you're going to put it back onto this plate, but it looks good. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fold these down. That way they'll be folded under for next time. And then I'm just going to start to peel. And we're going to hope that it is all, you know, that needs, now I have a glass of water in case if these things, sometimes it starts to dry. So we're just going to look at it as we pull it. We want it to be as nice as possible. So sometimes you have to add a little bit. Okay. Go ahead and pull. And you know what? I'm going to lay it down. And this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes you see that. And I'm going to get a paper towel and I'm going to wet it and I'm going to lay it on there. Okay, so if you notice that it's drying out, that it dried too fast, get a damp paper towel and just lay it over the top of it and let's get the moisture back in it. And then it should be fine. And I'm not so picky anymore about this. If part of it lifts, that's okay. I know that it doesn't have to be perfect. It will be fine. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up and now we're going to pull it. Okay, much better. Much better. Okay. And I'm seeing that we are just going to work this. Now, sometimes you just have to do that. You just have to. I'm just getting some more moisture down into this. Okay. And this is actually a great opportunity for you to see that because sometimes things don't work out perfectly, but look at that. So I didn't panic. I just went ahead and I added some moisture to it and it's beautiful. So these things I'm going to take to my craft show and sell. So what I'll do is I'll seal it. And the way that I seal it is I use a clear acrylic, or sorry, clear matte sealer, either Krylon or Rust-Oleum, and I give it a nice good spray, and I'll go back and forth 3 times, and then I'll wait 30 minutes, and then I'll come and I'll do the same thing again, just spraying, making sure I get a good coat on, and then come back again 30 minutes. So 3 times, 30 minutes apart. And that will make it so that it's waterproof, so that it will last and it's not gonna run if somebody accidentally sprays Windex on it to clean it. So this one, I really think that it's gonna be a fun, popular one, and it could be done in many colors. It could be done in pink or purples. And you could do it with a dark background. I think that I will do a couple of variations to show you. But tonight, this is what we got. And the holes, those are for jute. I'm going to thread jute on that. And on this one, I'm going to put a hanger on the back. And something that I do that I don't know if anybody else ever has problems with putting hangers on the back. This is not very thick. So what I do is I take my little hanger and I take some E6000 and I glue the hanger on that. I'm going to grab a sign real quick so I can show you. Okay, sorry about that. Should have been prepared. So this is one that I did the other day, and on the back I put a hanger, and so I put just a few drops, like just a little puddle of E6000, and then I pressed the hanger down into it, because if you put the nails in here, the nails are going to go all the way through. And I promise you, this E6000 is going to last a lifetime. I have been using this same method for 15 years, and it does not fail. I have stuff on my walls hanging with this. So that's a good little tip that will help you. And I'm so excited. I have so many other transfers to try out, but it's bedtime for me, so they're gonna have to wait. I hope you enjoyed seeing these guys, these fun new transfers. We have 120 something new transfers, and yes, I bought almost all of them. So these next few weeks are gonna be full of fun videos. All right, guys, well, if you want more info about Couture, go ahead and leave me a message, and I will put my website at the bottom so that you can order if you'd like to, or you can sign up from there. You can message me with questions. This has been a great, fun business for me. I honestly, I signed up so that I could make these signs for craft shows, and that was pretty awesome. And that was in the fall. So by the time that my craft shows were over, after I had been taking these to the craft shows, everyone wanted to learn. They were really excited to learn and wanted to do some sip and chalks and wine and chalks, and I didn't have time because Christmas is our busy season. So I promised them in the spring I will bring these to the show and I will demo. So I will be demoing for the first time at a show in 2 weeks, and I will be selling the transfers and the chalk paste and the finished signs, and I'm hoping that people will really be excited about learning, and maybe even someone will want to become a designer. You never know. So anyways, I've taken enough of your time. I hope that you had fun. I had fun, and I'm looking forward to all these brand new transfers. It's pretty exciting. Have a good night.